Now, please. Nothing. The thing is, I have to wait like 10 seconds to know the answer. I am not using any microphone.
Now?
Okay, now yes. I am using the computer, so I have not any external microphone. Yes. The thing is, I have to wait like 10 seconds to know the answer. Detai? Is that correct?
I am not using any microphone.
Okay, now I have to, to mute myself because I don't want to hear myself and I don't want you to hear double. Okay. Ahora sí. Perfecto. Now we can start. Oh my god. From Japan. That's weird. Okay, so I was planning maybe streaming like an hour and a half. So let's say the time starts now, okay? Because that would be unfair. From Macedonia, wow. Hello. Okay, so the thing is, I was painting this composition, but I realized that maybe for a streaming this is not interesting because I have already painted the juicy parts. So I have prepared a small little panel for a new thingy. So you have to choose what we are going to paint today. So left or right? I mean, better, in case you have it flipped. The two cakes or the single one? Okay. Which one should we paint? Which one is the second one? The single one or the couple? The single cake. Again, I have a little delay. I have to wait like 10 seconds to know your answers. So, single cake, solita, two cakes, single cake, single cake. Okay, we are going to go with single cake. We are going to start from the beginning. Maybe I don't finish two cakes, but the two cakes are already painted. Okay, we have decided. I am going to paint the single cake. Okay, so the thing is that we are going to, oh, two slices, no! I'll paint that in another or similar one in another occasion. The thing is that maybe I cannot finish this one in an hour or an hour and a half, but I think this would be interesting. I am going to put the reference first, so let's change this. From sunny Barcelona. Here is super rainy. I am in Bilbao. Super rainy. Okay, the single cake. Let me adjust this a bit the size. Okay, we are going to paint this thingy. I think it's cute. So this live streaming is going to be in the YouTube channel for a couple of days, and then it's going to be removed from YouTube and posted on my Patreon, okay? I have here my cake. I am going to paint and just talk. If you have any topics to talk, let me know. I have a couple, but I don't know if they are interesting. Okay. Okay, as you know, acrylic markers not working too much. I'm going to switch to another one. use oils. Wait, this has to work. I use oils and digital painting. And this is going to be just oil, but this is done in acrylics. If you want to see all my process with all the tricks, etc., this is one thing I wanted to talk about in case you have doubts. I am going to do a couple of workshops with all my process, etc. The first one is going to be an oil painting workshop, and the second one is going to be digital for the first time. Or you can watch all my YouTube videos. And I explain my process, my things, my techniques. Okay. I am going to be super rough because it's a cake. We don't care if that's super exact. I will eventually finish the 2 paintings for this week, I guess. Is this a wooden panel? Yes, I have used gesso because they are already pre-primed, but I don't love the way they prime the canvases. So I use gesso and acrylic to put some color on the base. And for this one, I wasn't planning on the cake, but I think it's cute. Maybe this is too low. I think it's cute, the red. Usually, the best way to be right is to use a complementary underpainting. But now things are a bit more tricky. For example, if I am painting skins in a portrait, a good complementary underpainting, a teal color, a blue, something like that, is going to be nice because it's going to help you see the warm tones on the skin better. If you use a red color for the underpainting, you are going to have a hard time because you have to fight the red and it's not going to be easy for you. So no red for the portraits, but now we are painting objects, so it's okay. It's fun to play with color. If it's not super exact or if it's more saturated, as I usually do, it's also fun, so it's okay. Tips about composition. I have one tip that it's helping me a lot, saving me time. That is switching your camera to one-to-one crop. So when you are going to take photos, change the proportion on the camera. So you are going to see everything through one square window, you know? And that's easier for you to determine if you are going to paint a square, like we usually do now that Instagram rules our lives. It's easier to see the composition. I am not a pro in composition. I think it's super difficult. Okay, here, how many layers? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have this thingy, and then 2 in the middle, maybe 1, maybe 2. So this is going to be brown, like cake, and this is going to be cream. I have to make notes for myself because I am going to get lost. This is super dark, this is all cream, this is cream, this and this is cream. And I like this photo for the transparencies we have. I don't know if you can see the reference, but it has nice transparencies here on this part. Exactly. Do you have art blocks sometimes? Of course. Okay, when I have art block and I don't know how or what things I want to paint, I try not to think about that. For example, I make a list, or if you want to start painting daily, that's also valid for that. You make a list with random objects. For example, a cake, a glass, your oil paint tube, I don't know, coffee, one ear, everything. You make a list, but things that you can take photos to, because if not, it's difficult. Or maybe if you take your references from the internet, things that you find easy to find references. And then when you are going to paint, you just pick a thing, random thing, without trying to think too much, and just paint. Because when we have art block on, or when we have difficult times to paint in general, the most difficult thing is finding the time to paint. So if you have sit down to paint, don't lose your time thinking what I am going to paint. I don't want to paint this or that. So try to make things easy for you. Grab your list. Okay, ear. Grab your photo that you already have in your folder, in your computer, in your phone, and paint. That's it. Without thinking, because the most random and unexpected objects are going to turn out the best paintings. Blue nails. Estoy basando mi proyecto de pintura de segundo en ti. Jo, qué guay. Pues cuando quieras me hablas. Gracias a ti. Cuando quieras me hablas. Y si puedo te ayudo. Yeah, I think it's nice to achieve this light. My sister-in-law helped me here at home with one pointy light across the cake. So you have this sunlight effect. It's not sunlight. Okay, I am going to switch this because maybe you can see me or not. Let me put the palette thingy and you can see me. I hope. Please. Yay! I love when things don't work. Okay, no palette today. I am going to fix that later, don't worry. Okay, so I am going to start, as you know, as you suggest, of course, painting this little thingy, because it's the most difficult part and I want to do it right. I want to do it correct. So I am taking this color to make these transparencies. I have my references on the screen, so you are going to see me turning my head a lot. So more or less like that. If you have oranges, I think orange is really nice to use it from the tube, but for me, I don't know. I think making it with a bright red and a bright yellow, I think it's more fun. Let me see if you can. I'm going to remove the autofocus and focus it myself. This is tricky because I have to do everything, but it's perfectly fine. Okay, so now this is focused. Yes, so now you should see better. So if you have any question, if you want to talk about something, I have been thinking a lot about Instagram and what they are doing to us, forcing us to learn the algorithm over and over again. So did you know that they don't want you to make your reels out of the app now? They want you to make the reels inside the app. So as painters, that's super difficult. Super difficult. How am I supposed to have the phone switched on, recording myself all the painting just to make a reel? But not in the camera mode. Inside Instagram, it's nonsense. I use an external app to make my reels. It's called InShot. And now I am using a bit CapCut. But I don't know, I don't want to use Instagram's thingy. I think they are making everything wrong. I don't know. El color de la base. Normalmente el complementario, the complementary color for the base. But now it was just some random decision. I think this is going to be super dark, maybe more yellow for the reference. You're watching the reference? Yes. What mediums do you use? Now I am using a lot this. Let me show you. I have it here, which is solvent-free thingy. Of course, now I am not in autofocus. This one, please. Okay, this thingy. Why? Because I am in a closed room and I don't want to end up, I don't know, with lung problems. When you use oil, you have to ventilate your area, but if you are not having, if you don't have, I don't know, a lot of windows and or if you are in winter and you don't want to have your windows opened all the time, you have to switch to safer mediums. So now I am using this one, which is super liquid, like linseed oil, but it's fast drying, which I think it's nice, and it also gives shine to your paints. And yeah, I agree. They are trying to get us in the app the whole time. They don't want us to be in another applications, or I don't know. For example, TikTok. I hate TikTok. I hate it. But they let you use another applications to make your reels. In fact, you can link your CapCut, for example, to TikTok, and you can go from TikTok, use template, go to CapCut, post on to TikTok, and you can. They are reasonable with that. But with Instagram, they just want you to be on the app every single time, and I hate that. Do you prefer solvent-free gel or fluid? I have gel, I have it somewhere, just for the things where I need to have texture. For example, if I am going to put sprinkles on a donut, that's always my example, I don't want the sprinkles to mix with the glazing of the donut. So I use the gel because I want to have each things, the sprinkles, with different texture. I hope that makes sense. But in general, I use the fluid. I think the fluid is better for my style of painting. But just a pinch. I have it here. Whoops. And just a pinch. I don't know if I can fix this thingy. Let me try again, because I think it's useful. Let's refresh. If not, it's okay, because I just have this one to record things. I think it's better if you see the reference, but it was fun. So, acrylic painting less toxic? Nah, acrylic, it's awful. I hate acrylic. I hate it with all my heart. Because it's transparent. You are not going to paint the same. If you like it, of course, it's perfectly fine. And it's safer with fumes, yes. But if you use nice ventilation or nice quality oils, you are going to have the same zero problems with oils. So it's fine. Or if you use water mixable oils, you can also have them and use water as your medium. That's also super safe. I'm going to paint the darker part, which is almost brownish purple. I think it, let's use this. In cakes, everything looks awful because one wrong color can make the whole cake or whatever look moldy, and I don't want that. So, for example, I like using blues and greens, you know, to make shadows. But with cakes or violets, that's not the best. The German for texture, yes. ¿Qué es yield? No sé qué es yield. Gel, exacto. If you want to start a business, no matter what's the thingy, you have to stay on Instagram, share on Instagram, and that it's like the first step for every single small business or whatever. For example, in my case, I didn't plan this, making commissions, selling my work in this moment because I wanted to study a bit more in university. So more or less, I think I am not respecting my old lines here, but it's okay. But just because I started showing on Instagram, on social media in general, letting people, you know, creating a little community around everything, around artwork in general. That's how everything got created by itself. I didn't force anything. So I strongly believe that if you want to start a small business, I don't mind which niche you want to work in. You have to be an Instagrammer, a TikToker, depending your audience. TikTok is for younger audience. Instagram, millennials, depending. I have to go to Facebook, but I don't want to. Oil. Yes, my tip is go check my Domestika course. I'm half joking. So if you have used acrylics, it's exactly the same, but you are going to change your solvents. So when you just jump onto it, as if it was acrylics, you are going to experiment that they don't dry, that you can correct things. You're going to learn with time, so it's perfectly fine. Just try them. Buy some cheap oils and just try it. You are going to be fine. But the only thing is that you have to switch mediums. The rest is the same. You can even use acrylic brushes, you can use acrylic paper, you can use the same canvases, the same knives, the same everything. Just the solvent, of course. Yay! Thank you! I hope I am not missing anything. Okay. So now I know that I am not going to finish this on time, but it's okay. We are going to, I hope I can post it on Thursday or with the whole, I plan to make this video into a highlights form in case you miss anything. So it's going to be posted on YouTube because yes, I am planning to get back to YouTube. Hopefully, if everything goes correct. Okay, I am going to cover these red thingies. Let me clean the brush. I usually don't clean the brush because I don't know, I am a bit lazy, and just because I am not being accurate with colors, if I don't clean the brush super well and the colors get mixed, it's okay. How is your big fruit painting? I have it here. I have finished it. Maybe I can show you in the end of this stream. I have it here, yes. Just a couple retouches left. That was a commission, so that's why I haven't shown a lot. That was a commission. But I think I am going to do some more big, like the eggs, 1 meter, something super big, but with fruits. Thank you, Elena. The domestic course is in Spanish. Yes. The thing is that a lot of people have bought the course, even though it's in Spanish, because all the resources that I have linked, they are in English, because I know most of you are English speakers, so I have made everything both in Spanish and in English. So, and just because you have the subtitles and you can stop it, watch it, rewatch it, etc., I think it's nice, even though you don't talk in English. So if you change your mind, know that you can hopefully get value from that. If not, I have the YouTube thingies, the Instagram thingies. I hope I can get back to YouTube super soon. Next week, next couple of weeks. That's my plan. I don't want to promise too much. You clean your brushes with gel? You can clean your brushes even with oil. As long as the composition is similar, you are going to take the pigment out of your brushes. But just because that's super expensive, I wouldn't recommend that. Can't wait to see my order of one of your originals. So did you order one painting? Eres española, no entiendo por qué no eres castellano. Porque la mayoría de gente me sigue en inglés. I am doing things in Spanish with time, more and more, but not much, because all the people, everyone wants to see things in English, and you cannot have everyone happy, but from time to time I do some things both in English and Spanish. Domestica is in Spanish. I am going to do workshops in Spanish now, not the 2 next workshops, those are going to be in English, but well, I try to mix things. Sí, estoy en ello, Rocío. Poco a poco voy a intentar subir todos los vídeos ya automáticamente con los subs en castellano, no solo para que se dupliquen, o sea, para que se traduzcan, sino con mis palabras en castellano. That's the idea, having the subtitles in both languages. A bit expensive. Well, it's super expensive compared to, I don't know, Solvent. Oh yeah, I sent that painting. Thank you, first of all. I sent that. Now I know who you are. We are now, this is Sunday, so I sent that a week ago, actually. I don't know why they didn't deliver that painting yet. But yeah. I hope tomorrow you are going to have it. I am sure of that, because I also get notifications from my deliveries to be super safe that everything arrives. So I am sure you are going to get them tomorrow. I hope you are going to get them tomorrow. Okay. So, for example, this thingy, I think it's super flat. I am going to switch brush, and I am going to add, I don't know, a bit of cake. What is that? I can see it more clear in the stream than in my reference. So I have here like this stripe of cake. And then I have like, it's a bit tricky, but then I am going to put there €23. Here I can here in Spain you have to pay a bit more. I think. I remember it was 30, because some gambling products are, every gambling product of course is imported, and some of them are a bit tricky to get. So thank you, have a nice painting session. I am going to leave this on YouTube until for a couple of days, so in case you want to come back and watch something. Okay, I think we are ready to paint the top part thingy. AI to translate your videos. I haven't tried, but maybe that could be something useful. Now I am starting to use, or planning to use, some AI to make scripts or ideas or emails, but I hate having. So when you work in things like this, creative things like this, everything is like your baby, so you want to do everything. If that makes sense. So having not the full control of some things. For example, when I have tried this AI to make, I don't know, a content script for something to test them, they are not precise and they are not you. So you have to correct everything and go over everything and make it yours. So for that, I prefer doing everything myself. So maybe that's something I will check on it, of course, but for now I am doing everything manually. Lonely? No, I don't feel lonely when I paint. I have to say that I live with my partner, so we work both at home. I have 2 dogs, so I don't feel alone, because every time there is, noise, or I don't know, I have nosy neighbors. But I love having this time for myself, so I don't know. I think most creatives in general love to be being alone and feeling alone. I don't know, maybe we are weird. Yeah, no, but I will take a look to that, thank you. Okay, the top thingy. That's a cute carrot. Again, I don't have any orange. It's a pity you can see. For next streams, I will try to have this as I did in some past streams, but I have changed things for my workshops, because now I have different setups, so I can make zooms and color pick things. So I have the phone also working for the whole setup. So I will try to have that for my next streams as well. Maybe 2024, 2025, when I do my next stream. I hope not. I hope it's sooner. Okay, instead of red, I am going to use purple for this thingy, because it's a shadow. It's not going to be super precise, but it's fine. And for the top part, super yellow. Maybe that it's enough. Yes, I am going to show you my studio tour, but I am going to make it not into a series, but I am now living in a rental apartment. So maybe I can show you how I managed to get everything that I had before in a place in which I cannot make holes in the walls, etc. So maybe that's useful. So I want to show how I did everything, but in a different way. But then later in the year, when I get back to my home, maybe I can show you how I build my studio from the scratch. So I don't know how I am going to show you all this, but I want to show you things. This is just white and yellow to make a couple of details. I think it's super bright. And then the other thingy, if you see in the reference, I think you can see it. It's almost the same color as the cream. So I am going to reuse what I had for this, but here. So this is tricky. Maybe we need something darker. When I am painting these things, I like using these gel mediums because you can be super thick with texture and you can create this cream look. And you can make everything super juicy. I don't know what should I do in the background. Maybe a flat color, because I don't want to paint that plate in the back. But the shadow is interesting. Definitely I won't finish the painting on this stream. I will post it. I think I am going to keep recording and I am going to post on Patreon or I don't know. And I am going to show the painting this week. If you have any questions or suggestions for next future streams, I know I have said this a couple of times, but I plan on making more streams, more content here on YouTube, because Instagram is going to kick us all eventually. So I am going to make more content here on YouTube. So if you have any suggestions, cadmium lemon or Hansa yellow. I have my super big, let me show you, super big tube is Hansa yellow medium, but I also have small ones. This is cadmium yellow deep, so maybe here better, and this is cadmium yellow light. So I don't like using them as frequent or by default. I prefer having Hansa yellow or non-cadmium thingies by default, but sometimes I am weak. Sometimes I think it's super useful having opaque colors. For reds, the same. When I paint the strawberries, I have my big tubes. I have the Naphtol red, Naphtol scarlet. But sometimes it's super handy having a cadmium red. More yellow than white. Well, that's interesting. I had a teacher that used more ochre than white. And if you don't mind me responding in English, okay? En Bellas Artes me especialicé en pinturas, sí. I did the fine arts degree, and then I chose the painting, specialty. I don't know the word in English, but that's because you can choose among different things, and that's not something that you have to do. You can choose, but you don't have to do that. But I think it's nice for you if you want to learn everything you can from the career, because you are going to have different teachers. Each one is going to show you different things. Depending on which year you are graduating, you are going to take different things from the career. So if you can have, the more you can have in your bag, the better. So I made the painting specialty, and I know people, colleagues, that have done exactly the same, but just because they have had different teachers, they learn things completely different, So I know people that hate the career. For me, it was fun. I think it's fun. I think it isn't super necessary to paint and to be a painter, but you are going to have some cool perspectives in art history to teach. If you want to teach, I think fine art degree is something that you need to have, you need to make. You are going to find a lot of different people. You need to know which are the common concerns. So maybe not to be a painter, but if you want to teach, I think you have to have some baggage. So that's I didn't know that was my opinion on fine arts. What's the difference between gamblings? Okay, and first, cadmium is toxic, but it's so good. Yeah. The more opaque, yeah. The thing is that they are super opaque. So if you paint with another paints like this, the Naphtol Scarlet, the Hansa Yellow, you are going to have troubles if you layer or if you want to cover your thing. For example, I can do a demonstration now because I have Hansa. This is Hansa, I think. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me, okay, please. Okay. I think this is focused. I think this is focused. Is this focused? I think it is. Okay. So this is Hansa. And you can see the red and even the sketch, even though I made the sketch with dull colors that are easy to cover, you can see what's under that. But just with this thingy, maybe that's not the brightest, but it's super opaque. You are not going to see. Let me do the same with the lemon. Super opaque. So if you paint with underpainting colors, with bright sketches, or you layer things, you want to have super opaque pigments. But they are more expensive, more toxic, sometimes more difficult to to use because they are going to pigment a lot and maybe you don't want that. So I just use them when I have to. If I can avoid using them, I just go with the regular Hansa Scarlets. For blues, I use whatever blue instead of cobalt thingies, more or less. But sometimes it's super useful. Okay. Yeah. So, what's the difference between gambling and 1918 and the professional? Yeah, both are light fast, but as I know, the difference is the pigment concentration. For example, in the 1980 version, which is the student's grade, you are going to have less concentration than in the artist grade. But just for that, even though that looks like a bad thing, just for that, those are going to be easier to blend. For example, when you have a yellow and a red and you want to make your orange, if you are using artist grade, you have to know what's the tinting power of each paint that you are going to use. And maybe you have to use 25 of red and 75% of orange, of yellow, sorry, because you have to know your pigments. But in student grade, everyone is more or less the same in tinting strength, so maybe you find easier to make your mixes. So they are not a student grade because they are just cheaper and students are cheap. They are student grade because they are easier to start with. Of course, they are easier to make and more affordable, and that's one reason they are cheaper, but that's not the first quality, the price. So if you are starting, maybe you want to invest in a student grade, and just once you are super used to that, switch progressively to artist grade. For example, in gambling, I am using their paints quite a lot. They don't have every color in both grades. So depending on if you need one specific color, you have to go to the artist grade. But for regular colors, they are going to have them available in both grades. For example, cadmium red, naphthol red, all those, Hansa yellow, all those are in both grades. But I think cobalt teal isn't available in student's grade. So you have to go to artist grade or use another color. Then yes, you should get a cadmium yellow or ochre. Ochre is also opaque, but it's not as intense. I am not enjoying this thingy, but I think I am going to leave it till the end. I don't know if you are going to see it because I am going to start with the background. I need to cover this red. This red is starting to annoy me. So what should we do with the background? Hard brush to get back on its shape. No, of course. I'd love to have the magic thingy to get back one brush. I have several brushes that have lost their shape. I have this one that I don't know if you can see, but it's a lost cause. And maybe this is not the worst, but usually I don't have them super bad. I try to take care of my brushes a lot, but this is awful. So I just leave this for the backgrounds, the big paintings, the things in which I don't have to be precise, and then try to have other brushes super carefully cleaned, everything, just for my daily paintings in which I need to be more precise, or I don't know. So what should we do with the background? Grass? I don't know. I think I am going to do the shadow first. Shadow, I think you can see it in the reference, but it's blue. So I am going to paint some blue. Not the bluest blue, because it's not super saturated, but maybe that blue can work. This is just white, ultramarine blue, and a pinch of red. Any red. I think I am using now Naphtol red. And I say I think because usually because I paint every day, sometimes I put more colors just to experiment. Bed? No, I cannot put a bed behind. Rainbow backgrounds, that's an option, yeah. But we need to have here the light, so maybe I have to do a gradient to the background. But I don't want to paint a phone. I don't know if you can see it, but in the background there is a phone. So this is blue. So I remember, yeah, I think I will do that. But yeah, I am going to do that, and I am going to paint this little glare that I am lately doing here. Okay, everything's solved about the background. My plan is on doing more live streamings if you want to come more often, because just painting, talking, showing things, answering random questions if you want, because when I started doing live streamings, I don't know if some of you remember, but they were long. I just did 2, 3, but they were the longest, and I ended up super tired after 3 hours, 3 hours and a half streaming, talking, painting something that you want to paint from the beginning to the end. So you want to, you know, be focused on the painting, but at the same time answering questions, talking. So now I think I am not going to be that ambitious, and I am going to paint just for fun, answering if you have questions, showing you different things that I have to paint, etc. And maybe I can do that once in a while, if you are interested, of course. And yeah, shorter, but better, hopefully. For example, today I wanted to give a space in case anyone wanted to ask some questions about the workshop. I thought the same when I announced the retreat. In case you don't know, I am going to make a retreat to France. So I wanted to make, I love these brushes. I wanted to make a live streaming, just answering questions in case anyone, because sometimes it gives, I don't know how to say that, but people feel safer when you talk in real time without a script, you know. But I don't know, I don't think being something that specific, I don't think anyone would enter just to ask something. People just ask me by DM. So, but maybe when I do things like that, like this, the workshops, or I don't know, from time to time, just to talk, if you want to join and just paint a cake with me, I don't know, I think it's nice. Exactly. When I remember when I scheduled some live streamings that I ended up postponing, I had to think in days in which I didn't have a lot to paint or to work, because that was super exhausting. and I couldn't afford that in a regular basis. So if it's just like now, just talk, I think I can do them more regularly. So if you have any suggestions, if you want to paint avocados, the tomato, I'm so glad, Hannah. Thank you. The tomato and the gummy that I thought you also painted, right? I think you painted both. So that's what I want to try now. Some things more easy to paint without finishing them, maybe without that pressure. But I don't know, I think it's nice because you always learn something. But I have to plan some nice things, subjects to paint. Or maybe we can do a poll before painting. It's okay. Exactly, thank you. Okay. I have to detail some things here, but I am going to finish some background just to get the glowy effect, and then in the end I'll worry about the details. An avocado paint alone, but I have painted a lot of avocados. For me that's fantastic because I always love painting avocados. Okay, I am going to start with the red. I love doing this. Wait. Can you see that on the screen? It's like I enter a bit in the other color and swipe. But you can only do this with oils. That's exclusive for oils. So. And maybe a bit here. But sometimes to make correcting that, I end up ruining the effect. So I will try to avoid touching it a lot. So maybe wait. Okay. For example, and then the blue, and the blue doesn't need to be super intense, so maybe half blue, half violet. And now the red of the underpainting I think is helping, so I am going to do this like in shadow and then finish in a rainbowy situation. Oh, hello Michelle. Thank you. I love when I can recognize some of your names in the chat. Okay, so something like that. I hope I cannot, I don't ruin them. Something like that. Wow, I think that's too much. Too much. Abort mission. Some. No more touchy. Maybe we can do this little, like in the last coffee painting, that was from the same session, so the light is the same, so I am going to do that. Did your country have a version of Bob Ross? Now that I think of, I don't know. I think I wish. You mean on the television, right? Like a program. I don't watch the television, but I think no. Okay, lately I am adding a lot of greens in my rainbowy backgrounds. I think it's cute. Okay, I am going to finish this and I think we are going to end the stream. I can show you the fruit painting if you want now when I get up, because the camera is going to move. So if you want, I can show you the big painting. So here I have something that it's going to be super white, so maybe I can go a bit darker to create more contrast. So instead of using this light green, just there a bit darker to avoid the same value there. Maybe a bit darker, I think now with a bit of red. Maybe that's too much. With a bit of pink. That's why I want to have the palette, but it's okay. Bit of red. Here maybe. Pink. Maybe we need more contrast here between this shadow and the background and the table, the light zone. And now maybe with yellow. Again, a bit more. I don't know. I am watching this on the stream and I think, oh gosh, this is awful. Do you still love gambling radiant paints? Yes. Lately I am not using them a lot because I don't want them to take a lot of space in my palette, but that's because I know what's the pigment that they are made from. For example, the radiant turquoise is made with white, titanium white, and tallow turquoise. So if you just have your turquoise and your white on the palette, you don't need to have the radiant. So I love having that as a shortcut, but now that I also have the main pigment, I am not using the shortcut as much. I hope it makes sense. For example, the radiant blue is made with ultramarine and titanium white. So I am using a lot of ultramarine right now, so I am not having the radiant blue on the palette. Easy as that. I don't know if this is going to be pretty. It's looking a bit messy. I guess it's okay, because when we finish detailing everything, I think it's going to look more or less nice. More or less. It's going to look glowy, that's for sure. I think this yellow was too much, but I am not going to correct that. And I am seeing one thing on the reference that you cannot see here. I think it's super fun. Can you see that we have some kind of glow reflection on the table, I am going to try to imitate that. How do you define the background color? Usually it's my complementary color, but for now it was just random. For example, I have a video on my YouTube channel if you want to get deeper on this subject, but if you paint a tomato in a red underpainting, or you mean background. Okay, I'm going to say the two things. I know that I repeat myself a lot, but I hope it's useful for some people. If you paint a red tomato on a red underpainting, your reds are going to look so much more vibrant and intense. If you paint the same tomato, I did it with tomatoes also, and with persimmons. If you paint the same tomato with teal, blue, I don't know, pink, well not pink, violet underpainting, your reds are not going to be as vibrant. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. And for the backgrounds, I think it's always difficult. I try to replicate the reference photo because I want to challenge myself to get what I see in the photo, but not always. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just go to my comfort zone, which is whitish backgrounds, like in a table, and that works for me. Some people love dark ones. They are super cool to make, but dark, and this is silly, dark paintings in general, dark paint, dark oil paint is going to be super difficult to photograph. That's it, because it's going to reflect a lot of light. When it's freshly painted, it's going to reflect a lot of light. Your t-shirt, if you have a white t-shirt and you are taking a photo in front of the painting, your t-shirt is going to be reflected on your painting, okay? And that's going to appear in the photo. And if the painting is dry, the black paint is going to get matte and it's not going to look great. And now that we have to photograph all our paintings, that's not like in 20th century where you go to a museum and see someone's work or a gallery, whatever. Now you have to use internet, you have to take photos of your paintings, so you have to take these things in mind. So I don't paint rectangular shapes and I don't paint black paint or dark compositions. It's silly, yes, it's a silly reason, but you have to play. This is something that I learned in fine art. I think it's super valuable. You have to work with the things you have, and what we have now is Instagram, so we have to adapt our things to Instagram. We are slaves of Mark Zuckerberg, yes, but it is what it is. We have to do things that work in that media in general. So usually when I don't know what to do for my backgrounds, I just go to my comfort zone. Everything whitish, everything is going to look great in a photo. That's it. Blue. I use cobalt blue, yes. It's my favorite blue right now because I haven't used that before. I don't know why. I always have used ultramarine blue, which is a great substitute for cobalt blue, but it's not the same. Cobalt blue has a unique tint. Even though you mix it with white, you are not going to have the same blue. So cobalt blue is always there. But again, toxic. So if you can use ultramarine, that's going to be better for everyone. But if you need to put some cobalt in your composition, in your painting, that's it. It's so funny. Instagram is going to have influence. Yeah, yeah. When future students study arts in school, they are going to study the 21st century influenced by social media, and everything is around social media. Sad but true. Is your family artistic too? No, no, at all. Someday, I guess I will talk about my family because it's super weird, super, I don't know how to say it, but no, not at all. If it's toxic, then I go for it. You shouldn't. That's the reason not to. Okay, I am going to add this little white just to finish on this gradient, and I think we are going to leave this here. 1 hour and 15 minutes with all the struggles from the beginning. I hope I can do this faster in future live streamings. I hope so. I should have someone. I will try to convince someone to be here with me for these things. Oh, glad you like it. I am going to blend this just a bit here. Something like that. Domestic, of course, you painted portrait. How did you learn? That's also another thing that I learned in uni. I guess you can learn everything by yourself, but you have to have a lot of discipline, and we usually don't have it because you have to put yourself to learn anatomy, you have to copy master studies, and yes, you can do that, but in uni there is one guy or girl in this case that was one old man, super grumpy. We all were super scared of him. So I studied anatomy just because I didn't want to make things bad with this guy. Hi, Cecile. Yes, I thought the same the other day. I saw you were making a live streaming today at the same time as I am, so I know. So yeah, just because in uni you are forced to learn different skills, I learned anatomy just for that, and it was so fun copying master studies, learning the planes, not only on the face but also on the whole body, the muscles, which muscles you can see from the outside, everything. That was super fun. We made super thick sketchbooks just copying, and also copying models in real life. That was a nice thing to do. So I think uni is nice because it forces you to do some things that maybe you are not going to do in your house. Of course, you can do quick poses. Quick poses is a website that, if you don't know that, it's super handy. You just enter there, grab some photos quick without thinking a lot, and just 1 minute, paint it, sketch something, next photo. I think it's super nice and you learn a lot, but you have to have the discipline for that. So uni, you paid for that, you are going to have the discipline for that. Is there another workshop other than the France retreat? Yes. The France retreat is not a workshop. It's like a whole week with many workshops, many, I don't know. So I will keep doing my workshops my way, both online and physical if I can. And now I am having two. One is going to be oil and the other one is going to be digital in June. So I will do a bit of spam and I will link here the workshops in case you want. No? Please tell me you hear me. Still no sound? Okay. I shouldn't take a thing. Next time I won't touch anything. So the thing is that I can have, of course, the sound goes in a different way in workshops. And I have someone helping, so that's really great. But yeah, I think a lot of tools I can show you. I can show you the color drop. We can see better the references. I can show you the mixes. We can talk about specific issues. You can show me your issues. So workshops are going to be a thing. And I think they are quite nice. So now I have these two working now. Oh my god. And I have this delay. I don't know how to solve. Cecile, if you know how to, let me know. So I have to wait to read your answers. So it's a bit Okay, see what I was telling first? Here I don't have the needed contrast. You can see here my reference. I need more contrast, so I need this to be darker. You know? So maybe I need to correct everything here. Or not. Or just leave it like that. But I need some Okay, I will keep that in mind. Portraits. When I have next, I have one commission now. Maybe I can record it, and I can show you how I make all the portraits, the process, the color choices. I will do something. Maybe I think I will do more tutorial-like form for Patreon, but I will do something for YouTube too, because I want to get back to YouTube. I have the first videos already almost ready, but I can do the portrait thingy because this portrait is for Father's Day, so I have to wait at least a month and a half to show the portrait, so we have time to make everything as normal, and then in July, or I don't know, make the portrait. Okay, this is not finished. This is already going to need maybe half an hour to details here and there. Some little dots in the... And you know what? I am going to take a photo, a nice photo. I am going to go outside now. I am going to take a nice photo to this painting like it is now, and I am going to finish it and then take another photo so we can compare what I consider finished in a painting. I think that's also something to talk about. So if you have any questions, drop them now, because this stream is about to end. I will try to keep things short and simple for everyone, and my dog is already here, so you know what's asking. So again, if you have any suggestion for YouTube, you can DM me, tell me. If you want to join my workshops, my Patreon, I have a lot of things. I don't know which one I should make the spam on. Gracias a ti. So thank you for being here. That was nice. A nice chill comeback. Thank you. I will leave this posted on YouTube for a couple of days, and then I will delete it to edit just a couple of highlights, something fast and nice to watch. And then I think I am going to post it on Thursday, in case you want to take a look. Typical from my country, but I hate my country. I don't love my country. We can take a look. Maybe there's something, a pastry or something. Thank you, Dea. Thank you, guys, for being here. So, I will see you. So sad. We can take a look. It's okay, it's okay. We can take a look. I will see you on Instagram, I guess. And yes, for sure, I am going to upload this full on Patreon, and not only this live streaming, but I am going to keep recording until I finish this thingy, and I am going to post everything on Patreon. That's nice for my Patreons. So yeah, thank you everyone. Bye bye.